Right, my name is Sam Rogerson, and my TV drama is Mob Fallen. Next slide. It's a show about a young boy who's born into like a crime family in the UK, but like he doesn't really want to do it. He's not like a very like violent or like misbehaved like child, and he's around like the ages of like 15 to like 17, so he could be relatable to like viewers. And then he's basically been told to like commit all these crimes, and he doesn't want to do it, and then eventually he's forced into it, but then gets apprehended by the police, and then becomes like a sting operator to try and take down the gang from the inside. And there'll be about 7 episodes each, and it will follow the character of like how he feels about the gang, how he feels about the police, and how he'll eventually like take down the gang and solve justice. And they'll each be around 45 minutes. So in the first episode, the main character, Nick Elder, is introduced to the audience, and like he's very shy and such, but he's told to like rob a store and like hold up a store for the family to get them money and to get them like territory and stuff within the city, which is set in Leeds. But then at the end of the episode, he actually gets arrested by the police. And then episode 2, he's like in a holding cell, and they figure out that he's part of a gang. And basically after like a bunch of like interviews and such, he agrees to become a sting operative to like take down the gang from the inside. And then 2 years pass where the gang believe he's in prison, but in fact he's actually like working with the police and giving them lots of information. And then after 2 years he returns to the gang. And then episode 3, he returns, like he kind of comes up with an excuse saying he got released on good behaviour, and they didn't realise that it was about like gang violence, and they thought he was just holding up a store. So he got released, but a few people are slightly suspicious, but a few people trying to attack him in the gang, as he's been given like a new rank, as his father knows the guy at the top of the gang. However, he ends up getting them arrested without any suspicion forward. And then cuts to a few months forward in episode 4, and he's risen a few positions, but then he like tries to stop younger people from joining the gang. And then in episode 5, he tries to cut off the drug supply by destroying like a factory plant, but however someone else does it first from a rival gang, and that'll be explored in season 2. But then episode 6, he ends up getting the underboss of the gang arrested, and then in episode 7, that's when he like does a big like sting operation, and they all storm the headquarters, and everyone in the gang gets arrested, including his family. Next slide. The target audience for my drama will be 15 to 30-year-olds that typically fans of crime drama and series. They'll like cover other aspects such as like action and urban dramas. Although they're not the focus, they'll still be explored. And it'll typically appeal more to men than women, but there'll still be like things that will appeal to like female audiences, and ethnicity and gender won't really be a huge issue within the drama and won't be explored too much, so there will be a mixed cast, but it won't affect the plot in any form whatsoever. Next slide. Budget, it's low with $100,000 per episode, but I've chosen to use like lower actors or like new and starting out actors instead of high Hollywood ones to save money. So then I can finally like put all the money into other things such as locations and VFX that might be used in the later episodes. For hardware, I'll need a video camera as well as proper lighting and all the necessary like microphones, props and costumes for my show to make it as like realistic and believable as possible. And then for the software, you'll need some form of editing software such as Final Cut Pro to put it all together and like to make the final product. My production company is More Source Productions. It's a company that's previously worked with BBC Three and has made like teen crime dramas, which was called The High Life, which is about youth's involvement with drugs, and I thought that was quite similar to my idea, except for instead of drugs it's like gang violence and such, so they'll probably be like familiar with working with similar material. and then that's my inspiration in similar products. I've got Fight Club for like the like eerie and kind of dark aspects to it, as well as like a lot of like the organised crime aspects. And I've got Peaky Blinders for the like gang aspect, and that's like set in the UK as well, so it'll be a pretty similar idea. And then I've got Skins because it just covers like teen drama and issues with drugs and violence. So.
Really good. And how have you kind of thought about making it like BBC Three friendly? So obviously a lot of BBC Three programmes have kind of a message or an aim that they're trying to get across. And while you've talked about like gangs and stuff like that, what's the kind of message that you're going to try and get across to people to make it BBC Three friendly?
From like not going into gang violence, because I think it is like kind of an issue that affects a lot of like young people. A lot of people get like roped into it and stuff through like drugs and stuff. So it'll probably be just trying to deter them from joining gangs.
Okay. Any questions?
Is there more? Oh no, I think you spoke right.
I was just going to ask, you said that there would be female representation. Can you just expand on that a little bit?
There'll be female like cast members within the gang, and as well as within like the police as well that he works with. So I'd say there's probably like a pretty 50-50 representation. Just the main character and like the other really only like big character is probably the gang leader, but they're both male. But there's a lot of like female cast within it as well.
I feel like you could bring in a really good element, right? So if it's a huge gang and they've got a lot of power, they'd probably have some of the police force on payroll. That would bring in a very interesting element. What do you think about that?
I think that's a very good idea. I might consider that. Thank you, Harris.
Yeah, good idea. Did you say where your locations were? Where you were going to film?
Oh, I think that was one of my slides that got corrupted.
You said something about Leeds.
Yeah, I was going to say it's set in Leeds, but then there'll be like a gang like headquarters, which will be like an abandoned like almost warehouse, and then the other main locations will be the drug factory, which he manages to shut down, and as well as the convenience store that he robs, as well as the police headquarters.
Okay. Any more questions, feedback that anybody would like to share? No.